That $80,000 pickup truck parked in your neighbor's driveway isn't a sign of true wealth. It is a ticking financial time bomb. And right now, all across America, those bombs are starting to detonate. If you currently have a modern truck loan, you need to listen very closely to what I am about to say before you go to sleep tonight. Because while you are resting, the repo man is working overtime. Right now, in the dead of night, tow trucks are quietly pulling into middle-class suburban driveways from Texas to Ohio. The hydraulic lift engages, the heavy chains clink in the dark, and in less than 60 seconds, the ultimate symbol of modern American success is dragged away into the shadows. The repo man has never been busier, and the lots are filling up faster than they can process the paperwork. We are actively watching the greatest automotive financial collapse in modern history. The massive debt-fueled truck bubble hasn't just leaked, it has completely violently burst. And the mainstream media, the Wall Street banks, and especially your friendly local dealerships, are doing absolutely everything in their power to keep you from finding out the truth. They sold the American working class a devastating trap wrapped in premium leather. If you own a modern truck, or if you are feeling the intense societal pressure to go out and sign your life away for one, do not scroll away. The crisis is already here, the panic is spreading behind closed doors, and the collateral damage to average American families is going to be brutal. To understand how millions of hardworking, rational men fell into this devastating trap, we have to look at what the pickup truck used to be versus the psychological weapon it has become today. There was a time, not that long ago, when a truck was simply a tool. It was a hammer. It was a pair of scuffed steel toe work boots. You bought it to move dirt, haul wood, and earn a decent paycheck for your family. It was a humble, rugged machine designed specifically for humble, hardworking people. It had roll-up windows, a vinyl bench seat that you could wash with a hose, and a basic AM radio. But then, the corporate marketing departments in Detroit realized something highly dangerous. They realized they could tap into male ego. They realized that if they added panoramic sunroofs, giant touchscreen displays, heated steering wheels, massaging seats, and massive aggressive chrome front grills, they could completely change the demographic of who buys these vehicles. They could stop selling trucks as work tools and start selling them as luxury status symbols to men who never actually need to haul anything heavier than a bag of mulch. Suddenly, the pickup truck became a fashion statement for guys who work in air-conditioned offices. It became the ultimate flex at the local grocery store parking lot. The manufacturers convinced an entire generation that to be respected by your peers, to be seen as a true provider, and to project ultimate masculinity, you had to drive a brand new, oversized luxury rig. And as the human ego grew, the prices skyrocketed to match it. From a reasonable $30,000 a decade ago to $60,000, then $80,000, and now well over $100,000 for the top-tier trims. But here is the dark, uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to admit when they are revving their engine at the red light. Most of the people driving these rolling luxury suites are completely broke. They are drowning in a sea of invisible debt. They are living desperately from paycheck to paycheck, terrified of the first of the month, playing a dangerous game of financial Russian roulette just to maintain the illusion that they are rich. They do not own that truck. The bank owns it. The dealership just handed them the keys to a prison cell. How did millions of average Americans afford an $80,000 vehicle in the first place? The simple, horrifying answer is, they didn't. The dealership finance offices, the infamous F&I department, created a financial weapon of mass destruction to hide the true cost of these machines. It's called the 84-month auto loan, 7 entire years. Sometimes they even push it to 96 months. They stretch the financing out for nearly a decade just to make the monthly payment look somewhat digestible to a guy who was blinded by the shiny paint and the new car smell on the showroom floor. When you sit down at the dealership, they play a psychological game with you. They leave you sitting in the lobby for 2 hours just to wear you down. Then they bring you into a small glass office where a guy in a cheap suit starts drawing boxes on a piece of paper. It is a psychological trick designed to confuse you. They manipulate the down payment, the trade-in value, and the interest rate, all to keep your eyes fixated on that one magic number, the monthly payment. The salesman doesn't ask you how much you want to spend on the truck in total. He asks you, what do you want your monthly payment to be? And the exact moment you answer that question, you have lost the war. They pack the loan with hidden origination fees, expensive extended warranties you will never use, and gap insurance, rolling your negative equity from your last terrible car deal right into the new one. They don't tell you that at high interest rates over 84 months, you are paying tens of thousands of dollars just in pure interest. You are paying for a truck and a half, but you only get to take one home. When money was cheap and the economy felt stable, people signed those massive contracts without looking at the total cost. They signed away their financial future, their peace of mind, and their freedom, just to drive a rapidly depreciating asset off the lot. But then, the real world hit back. The economy shifted, groceries doubled in price, homeowners' insurance and property taxes shot through the roof. The cost of everyday living squeezed the American working class by the throat. Suddenly, that $1,200 monthly truck payment wasn't just a heavy burden, it became a financial death sentence. Men all over the country started having to make impossible, soul-crushing choices at the kitchen table. Do I pay the mortgage, or do I pay the truck? Do I feed my family, or do I feed the bank? The stress becomes physical. You start avoiding phone calls from unknown numbers. You park the truck inside the garage instead of the driveway, so the neighbors don't see it missing if the repo man comes during the day. You realize the bitter, painful irony of your situation. You bought an $80,000 machine to project strength and ultimate freedom, but you can't even afford to fill up the massive gas tank to take your family on a weekend trip. The truck becomes a museum piece in your own driveway, a giant metal monument to a terrible financial decision. It sits there, losing over $100 of value every single day in depreciation, while you work overtime just to keep the bank from taking it away. For months, people used high-interest credit cards to make their auto loan payments. They borrowed from Peter to pay Paul. They drained their emergency savings accounts down to zero. They lived in a constant state of silent panic, hiding the extreme financial stress from their wives, losing sleep every single night, desperately hoping for a miracle bonus at work or a sudden change in fortune. But the miracle never came. The math always wins. The money simply ran out. And that brings us to the terrifying reality of what is happening in the shadows of the automotive industry today. The repo man is no longer just going after the people who made foolish subprime decisions. He is going after the American middle class. If you drive behind the tall chain-link fences of any major repossession company in America right now, you will see a chilling graveyard of shattered egos. Row after row of practically brand new, spotless luxury pickup trucks sitting in the dirt. The banks are absolutely panicking. They are aggressively taking back thousands of vehicles that are now worth significantly less than what the buyer actually owes. It's called being completely upside down on a loan. If you owe $70,000 on a truck that the collapsing used market says is only worth $50,000, you are trapped in a prison of your own making. You can't sell it because you don't have the $20,000 in cash to cover the difference. You can't trade it in because no dealership on earth will absorb that much negative equity. You just have to sit there, watch the walls close in around you, and wait for the inevitable tow truck to arrive in the dark. And what are the dealerships doing while this crisis unfolds? They are desperately trying to hide the panic from the public. They are parking repossessed and unsold inventory around the back of the building. They are stubbornly refusing to lower window prices because they do not want to admit that the great truck bubble has finally popped. They are simply holding the line, waiting for the next uninformed, ego-driven victim to walk through their glass doors. But the tide is finally turning. The veil is lifting. People are waking up to the massive scam. Society is slowly realizing that having a massive debt anchor sitting in your driveway doesn't make you look successful to anyone who actually understands money. It makes you look like a hostage. There is a new kind of flex in America today. It's not the guy driving the $90,000 luxury rig with the panoramic roof, the flawless leather interior, and the $1,200 monthly payment that keeps him awake at night. The real flex is the guy driving a 20-year-old, faded, dented, reliable beater that he bought for $5,000 cold, hard cash. That guy is incredibly dangerous to the system. The banks cannot control him. The dealerships cannot extort him. He holds the pink slip in his own hand, not a massive folder of restrictive loan documents. When he goes to sleep at night, he doesn't hear the phantom sound of a tow truck backing into his driveway. He is completely unapologetically free. He has thousands of dollars extra in his bank account every single month to invest, to take care of his family, and to actually build real generational wealth, instead of just trying to look wealthy for strangers. Stop financing your ego. Stop giving your hard-earned blood, sweat, and tears to Wall Street banks just to impress people you don't even like at the traffic light. Buy old, pay cash, take pride in ownership, and keep the old iron running. Let me know down in the comments, what is the most ridiculous monthly car payment you have ever heard someone admit to paying? Drop the exact dollar amount below. I read every single one of them. If you are tired of the lies coming out of the automotive industry and want to protect your financial future, hit the subscribe button right now. Protect your wallet, protect your freedom, and I will see you in the next video.